All right, so let's talk about this, all right? You know, in sports, we have a thing called fans and fanatics. And those two are really what helps the sports live, okay? Basically, the fans, okay? And then the fanatics, they come in second with obsession. So we're going to see what is the difference between a fan and fanatic. Okay, a fan is someone who likes something because it amuses them and makes them happy. Being a fanatic means that you are a fan to the point that you are obsessed with the thing you are a fan of. All right, so a fanatic's still a fan, but they're just way over the top. We see this a lot in YouTube boxing, okay? Like, all the YouTube channels, not even just on YouTube, but even on Instagram or whatnot. You can't say a certain thing about a certain person. All right. So, yeah. Now, all right. Going back, you are a fan and you might even try to hurt someone who is not a fan or is a fan of a rival. Or, just a little comic up here. It says, as the comic says above, a good fanatic is always ready for an argument. Okay, it's a lot of arguing going on around here. And talking about when they say fanatics, how they like to end up hurting someone or anything like that. I remembers when I went to go see the Sean Porter fight, Sean Porter versus Earl Spence. I went to one of the biggest, most beautifulest, most awesomest sports bar in South Jersey. Okay. And when I got there, they said, well, we don't show boxing anymore. It's like, what? Now, I later on found out what had happened because that place always showed boxing. But I found out, from someone who worked there, him and we talked. I said, hey, man, what's up? I went there to go see the fight, but they said, they don't show boxing anymore. I had to go to some, strip club or whatnot. Not a strip club, but, one of those like, it was a strip club / sports bar. My wife was with me, so I wasn't sweating it. I had to go there to watch the fight. And he said, well, it was, he said that a few fights had broke out. Last time they had showed a boxing match. And guess whose boxing match that was? It was Earl Spence versus Mikey Garcia. All right. He said it was about 6 fights broke out. All right. And what the fights was all over, well, Earl Spence didn't knock him out. Earl Spence is fighting scared. And like the people who were supporting Spence, started attacking. You know what I mean? He said one guy got hit over the head with a bottle out in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Just because he gave his opinion on Earl Spence, well, man, Earl Spence, he didn't knock out a little guy. And, an Earl Spence fanatic ran up and just, man, what you got to say, blitz that? And just took the bottle he had and bit bop. You got to remember, it's a sports bar, okay? So they do, sell alcohol there. You know what I mean? So, hey, it brings out the ugliness in people, especially if you are a fanatic, okay? So I agree with the fanatic thing, all right? Now, there's another one. First fanboys, okay? So that's the difference is that. All right. See. All right, so fanboys, it's almost the same as a. All right, an extreme fan or follower of a particular medium or concept, whether it's be sports, television, film directors, video games, etc. You know what I'm saying? Known as a complete lack of objectivity in relation to the reference. Focus usually argue with circular logic. All right. So, all right, they move on. That certain logic that they refuse to acknowledge arguments or debates with such are usual, futile. True. Every flaw is spun into a semi-virtues. We see that a lot. Y'all, in this boxing YouTube things. People bringing up old things. You know, Charlo, he had that chance to fight Demetrius Andrade, but Demetrius Andrade, he pulled out, this, that, and the third. Well, that was like, well, how many years ago was that? Okay, this is now. All right, if he wants to take the fight now, Charlo is saying, oh, but that fight don't do nothing for me. Okay, no one is jumping on Charlo like they are jumping on, Crawford by saying, the fight between him and Porter won't do nothing for me. Does Porter have a belt? No. But hey, this stuff is true. All right. They also say fanboys are known for using the phrases objective of affection, best ever. Wow. However, while people only really say that a hyperpole fanboy is, truly believe it, insult, chastise others for using public forums to express objective opinion, no matter how constructive or respectful it might be. True. Go ahead and admit it, that it is a good game, video, boxing, whatever. All right, this fact and anything else will probably be ignored in favor of a cherry picking the negative and beating you over the head with. And that is true. Okay. So yeah, fanboys, they're not as bad as fanatics. Like, they don't hurt you, but all, stuff they do, attacking people online, saying the stuff you saying is, you're biased, you're a racist, you don't like Earl Spence because he's light-skinned. Look, my brother is the same complexion as Earl Spence. My dad is lighter than Earl Spence, right? And yeah, me and my brother got the same mother, same father, right? I don't look at stuff like that. I don't care about stuff like that. All right, I like Earl Spence, okay? When I be making videos about Earl Spence, I'm not talking about Earl Spence, the boxer. I'm talking about the fanatics, the fanboy. I'm talking about you guys, all right? I mean, y'all the ones who be saying, crazy stuff that Earl Spence, his hand speed is 20 times faster than a prime Roy Jones, okay? He's slicker than a Mayweather, fights way better than a prime Sugar Ray. His feet move 10 times faster than a prime Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, everybody say his name. I'll be reading stuff like, huh? And people believe they be agreeing with those comments, So now I'm making videos out to you guys, not to my man Earl Spence. I had no problem with the dude. And by the way, most brothers and sisters, whoever, who are Earl Spence complexion, 9 times out of 10, one of their parents is dark skinned, like me, okay? It comes from a Hershey, what do you call that? Reese cup looking family. You ever see the Reese cup cereal? It got chocolate and peanut butter. That's how my family looks. But anyways, man, I thought I'd drop this video, let everyone knows what's going on out there. This is CMD Boxing Reports, to catch you guys on the next one.